Hello duckies, and welcome back to a brand new Sims 4 video. Today we are building a modern lake house, and this is actually in the Henford-on-Bagley, and it's on the converted barn lot. So here I am just fleshing out the lake, putting in some mountains. I really wanted this to be a really scenic and relaxing place to either live or to send your Sims as a rental. Here I am setting up the little diagonal section that I really wanted to be sort of the main feature of the build, where it's not just a straight on build, but it has this cool sort of jutting area that sticks out over a waterfall that comes off the mountains in the back. And here I'm just setting up the little entry point area where we have this pier that's coming off the front of the house, and that's also going to have a nice little painting area later on. And just putting in some support beams just to make sure everything stays stable, and setting up little fences, and using that wood from Jungle Adventure that I've been using way too much lately. And this is one of my favorite parts of this build, is these platforms on the roof. They just have, they add a really nice visual interest, and I just think that's really neat. I also did kind of a checkerboard pattern with the siding on the front and around the back of the house. I think it just made it look really interesting. I always try to make every one of my houses have some kind of unique feature, and that's what I chose for this one. So here I am just putting in some windows. One thing I tried really hard to do with this build is I really did not want it to feel cold, because I think that's one of the big criticisms when you're doing a modern build is that sometimes they feel very cold. So the way that I tried to get around that is I used a lot of wood and warm toned wood, and tried to stay away from using too much glass and steel, which I think really gives that sense of coldness. So here I am embellishing those hills in the background with some great big rocks, and I'm starting to work on the little water feature back there with that waterfall from Island Living. It ended up really cool. As you can see from this shot, it looks really, really good. I'm pretty proud. So here I'm putting in just some rocks here to make it look more natural and like everything just sort of grew that way. I'm putting in some tree bits. I love that tree from Jungle Adventure. I used it in my swamp cottage build a couple weeks ago. I really enjoyed, or it was off the grid. It was an off the grid cottage built in a swamp. And I love that. I love that tree. It's got these little red bobbing things on them. That tree is really cool too. That's from Outdoor Retreat. The tree I was talking about before with the little red bobbing bits, so that one I'm pretty sure comes from Jungle Adventure. So here's just some more little natural bits and bobs. Some bushes, and then this is a big thing. If you don't color the terrain for your lakes and ponds underneath them, it looks kind of weird. That's because I think our eyes register that it should be dark under there and not bright green. So here I am building a little circular deck to put next to the area at the back there, and the way that you do that is you take the little wedge decks that they give you and you bring it down by one square on either side of the wedge, and you have a perfect circular chunk, and then you put 4 of those chunks together and you make a circle. So here I am using some plants to fill in the extra space there that was left when I took the fence off of that side part to give access to the deck. And I'm doing that because I just think it looks better. I'm putting in some more landscaping. I decided to put the bougainvillea up. No, that's not bougainvillea. It's wisteria up the pole because I just thought it looked cool. I don't think that it would probably grow like that, but it Sims, so I took some creative liberties. And there is the mailbox and the trash can, which are very important and which I have a tendency to forget. So here we have some windows. These are from the Moschino pack. I love those windows from the Moschino pack, and I rarely use them because I don't do a whole lot of modern builds, but I really enjoyed them for this one. And I think it turned out really nice. So here I wanted to make a feature area for the bed in this room. So this bottom area, this whole bottom floor, is going to be the master bedroom, and it will have an ensuite bathroom and a large walk-in closet situation. And I really, really wanted it to feel homey and comfortable, and I'm using some more of those warm tones and natural fibers to really give it a warm, comfortable feel. I did use the white rug, but I think that with all the other warm wood tones in the room, it doesn't look too cold, even though it is white. Sometimes white can be cold as well. I've been playing around with using different colors to give the feel that I want in a space versus just the look itself, because they go together. Here I'm working on the bathroom. I really liked how this bathroom turned out. I think it looks really nice, and I used a little architectural detail there with the spandrels. I think that turned out cool. It made me really happy. So I like these fur rugs, and one of them is from Snowy Escape, and the other one I think is from Vintage Glamour stuff. So here I'm working on the walk-in closets, and this has a ton of stuff from Dream Home Decorator. I think pretty much the whole thing is from Dream Home Decorator. I used that pack a lot in this build, and that's simply because it has a lot of great modern decor objects and buildable decor objects, which I really, really appreciated, especially for a build like this that is so complex. So here is some clutter for the tops of that. There was a bit of missed footage there. You'll see that there are paintings on the wall that you did not see. I've been trying to have seating that goes together but doesn't match, because the matching thing, first of all, there's so much stuff in Sims that goes together but doesn't really match. And I think it's easier to make that the goal. But secondly, I have been trying to improve on my interiors in Sims, because I feel like my exteriors are usually pretty good, but my interiors sometimes look weird, and I've been trying to improve that. And one thing that I have learned in doing interiors is that like interior designers don't necessarily want to have every piece of furniture come from the same set and be too matchy-matchy, and that's kind of considered to be old-fashioned. So I've been trying really hard to kind of pick a theme and stick to it rather than make it perfectly match. And here I'm working in the kitchen, which I'm kind of doing the same thing of trying to pick a theme, although I think you'll notice that wood on the bottom does not match the wood on the top, I don't think. Maybe it does. I think it's a little bit darker, but it's a cool tone. No, actually, I think it does match. That's a bad example. Anyway, I thought it was just a cooler tone, but they're both cool toned woods. So like they go, but they don't match. So that's just something I've been playing around with. So here I'm putting down some flooring in the kitchen, and I really wanted there to be a nice transition area. So I used the fence from, I believe, Get to Work to make it look finished on the edges there. And this is just going to be a little seating area back here, and then here I'm finishing up just putting in the wall paneling and more floors, putting in the wonderful wooden spandrel from Snowy Escape. I used texture in this build a lot to try to make things go, but also have a cohesive feel. So I think it turned out good. This is one of my favorite builds that I've ever done in terms of like, I feel like the floor plan makes sense, and like it all kind of flows really nicely. And that is something that I have struggled with. I am trying to get better with my interiors, and I think that this build kind of shows a lot of the things that I have learned through that process. So here I am using the sectional couch from Dream Home Decorator and trying to figure out a configuration that I really want for this space. This is another thing that I've been trying to kind of playing with is maybe slightly unconventional seating, but that's still usable and recognizable as what it is. So here I am building the entertainment center, also with stuff from the Dream Home Decorator pack. I'm really playing around with that kind of checkerboard pattern that we created on the front of the house and the outside, kind of bringing that as a theme through the entire build, because I just think it looks cool. It really adds visual interest when it's like similar but different. Like I really got a kick out of that with this build. I thoroughly enjoyed kind of making everything that opposite. And those are just some little end tables from Eco Living, and a few more little things. That bowl was from Dream Home Decorator, and the plant was from Snowy Escape. So here I'm putting some clutter into the entertainment center. I'm using some of the handmade decorations you can get from wood carving. And I had to put the random penguin up there. I don't know why. It just felt like it needed to be in the build for some reason. I really like that penguin. I'm not really sure why. I think it's just silly, and I like silly things. I guess I took it out. I kind of wish I had left it. So here I'm putting, I wanted to put some use some stuff that I hardly ever use, and these are a few items from Patio, like Star Wars items, because I think it would make sense if you're a Star Wars fan that you would have like a random TIE fighter in your living room. You know, at least my brother is a major Star Wars fan, and that is something I could see him doing, just randomly having. For him, it would probably be an X-wing in his living room. So here is that little seating area in the back that I was talking about before, and I've got the chairs, and they all just kind of, they go, but they don't match. I really, really like that, and I've been trying very hard to do that. And like those cool brown tones too, just echoing that same feel that you have throughout the rest of the house. I just think it looks really cool. And I'm pretty sure that rug is from Eco Lifestyle, but I could be wrong. And that table is from Dream Home Decorator, and I think the love seat, the couch, and both those chairs are from Snowy Escape, as is the bonsai tree. I really like how what I did with that lighting. I think it looks so cool. That plus the city living fireplace, I just think makes that like so modern and chic looking. Here's the dining room. It's pretty simple. I just used the same sideboard repeated to give it a just, perfect look. That is a painting from Moschino, and this rug comes from Get Famous. Sorry, sometimes it takes me a second to remember, and it's like, I know this stuff. I mess with these things all the time. This is another bathroom that I love. Both the bathrooms in this build are amazing. So I used that plaster to give it, to once again play some more with those cool brown textures. I just think it looks so cool. And my best friend, when I was growing up, her family had a bathroom kind of like this, except the toilet and the shower were in the same room. But I find in The Sims, whenever I make bathrooms like this, where you have the toilet in a separate area, it really cuts down on the embarrassment that you get from Sims, which is so helpful because that gets old quick. One thing, I have not play tested this, and I do imagine that there would be a possibility of having embarrassment from someone going in to take a shower while someone was in the bath, or vice versa. But at least you won't have the toilet embarrassment. Plus, it was also really nice that they had like an area that you could get ready and stuff that was not near the toilet, because I have a thing with having to be near the toilet when I'm getting cleaned up, and I don't like it. I'd much rather have it be separate. So here is another bedroom. So this, I think, ended up having a big master bedroom, 2 upstairs bedrooms that were like for adults or teens, and then a kids room. So this is one of the adult bedrooms, and I tried to make this one have kind of a green and like a smoke blue kind of coloring. I think it turned out really cool. I really like how this house came out. So these little lights here are from Snowy Escape, and I think that rug is from Parenthood. I could be wrong. And so I'm just putting in some more little items in here. That dresser is from Eco Lifestyle, and this, I think the next item to come out is that wardrobe. So here we are. I put a mirror in and just a little plant to give it a little more hominess, and also a nice little area to sit. And this is one of my new favorite things. It's that painting set, because the default swatch is ugly, so I never really realized that it was actually had some really cute paintings that were available until recently, and so I've been using it a lot. And this is the kids' room, and I wanted to do an accent wall in this room with the blue and the yellow. I think it turned out really cool looking. I really enjoyed the colors I chose for this room, because I ended up making it like a red and yellow with like some orange in here, with just that hint of coolness from the accent wall. I think it turned out really nice. You'll have to let me know in the comments what you guys think. I usually don't mix warm and cool colors, but I think it looks good. You'll have to let me know what you think, because I'm curious. So here I am putting in just some toys and things. The obligatory activity table, because we have like 8 million of them in this game. And some lovely little wall hangings, and just picking out colors. So this is something I have never done before, I don't think. And it's a dual office for 2 people. I thought that would be really cool. It's like imagine like a husband and wife living, or just a couple living in this house, and wanting to work together, so they have their own office that they share together. I just thought that was a really sweet idea, and so I built it. So here I am picking out some paintings, and I really wanted this to have like a warm but not aggressive, but like competitive feel, if that makes sense. So I also chose some red for that. So here I'm working on some outside lighting, and I'm also working on making another little outdoor seating patio type area. So there are some chairs with a little citronella candle, I believe. Yeah, there it is. And a nice little lounger with the hot tub. I also put a grill out here just because I thought you might want to grill out there. And I decided to change up the seating area, so here's what I did with that. I really like how that window seat looks. I don't think I've ever put it in a corner like that on like a balcony or a patio or anything like that. And there is that rug again. I believe that was from Eco Lifestyle. And then that one that I just put under the table there is from Laundry Day. So here are a few more bits and bobs. There's a little rug, and that was base game, I believe, and some more seating, and that's it. We have made it to the end. All right, so we are now going into the screenshots. Thanks so much for watching. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Bye.